Mace Windu was gone. Anakin Skywalker played his part well. Although he turned Palpatine into Windu, when the Jedi attempted to end the Chancellor's life, Anakin acted. Because if Palpatine was dead, Anakin would never know the secret of how to cheat death. Now, the conflicted young man knelt in front of the monster, no longer under the guise of the kind elderly Chancellor from Naboo. What have I done? Sidious, now in full form, assured his soon-to-be official apprentice that he was fulfilling his destiny. The Jedi are traitors, he said. They cloaked themselves in deception, my boy, because they feared your power. They could never trust you. Sidious, ever the master manipulator. Anakin was still trying to fight the darkness. Obi-Wan trusts me, he said, maybe trying to convince himself of that as much as Sidious. But the Sith Lord's manipulation continued as he reminded Anakin of instances where the boy was left in the dark on matters of the Jedi Council, including by Obi-Wan. Anakin looked up and really saw the face of the man who stood above him for the first time, and it horrified him. The face wasn't human. The eyes were cold and yellow, gleaming like those of a predator. The bone around the eyes had swollen and melted, and the flesh covering it was gray and rotten. Anakin finally stood. Inside of the cold office, Palpatine looked over his face in the broad wall mirror. Anakin couldn't tell if his expression might be revulsion or if this were merely the new shape of his features. Palpatine lifted one tentative hand to this misshapen horror that he now saw in the mirror, then simply shrugged. And so the mask becomes the man. He sighed with a hint of philosophical melancholy. I shall miss the face of Palpatine, I think, but for our purpose, the face of Sidious shall serve. This gives us such a deep look into Sidious's mind, as he viewed his outward appearance as nothing more than a tool. As I already mentioned, he relied on the kind face of the senator, then chancellor, to gain trust and favor, and now he had what he wanted. Now the true face of terror could reveal himself. Darth Sidious was here, and his acolyte was before him. Join me, Sidious said softly. Pledge yourself to the Sith. After everything, Anakin still tried to fight the darkness. I can't, he said, conflicted. His entire body nearly shook. He insisted that he came to save Palpatine's life, not betray his friends. What friends? Sidious questioned. Anakin had no answer. It's them or me, Anakin. Or perhaps, should I put it more plainly, it's them or Padme. Anakin clenched his Durasteel hand into a fist. I've been a Jedi for so long. Anakin searched his emotions, dissecting them and putting them back together time and time again. Time passed. The horrible, deformed being watched. Finally, Anakin looked into those terrible yellow eyes, and for the first time, he didn't even blink. The young man weighed Padme's life against those of the Jedi, and it was not even close. He pledged himself. He pledged himself fully as the horror in front of him smiled. And just like that, one of the most terrible periods in galactic history began. This video is inspired by The Revenge of the Sith novelization by Matthew Stover, and we read different accounts of events and dialogue, and I found this one interesting, as I already stated, with how we see how Sidious views Palpatine and his dark side Sith persona as two different entities, something that clearly served him well. Thank you all for watching, and until the next time, may the Force be with you.